Fingers crossed my
Live in Guam. Whether you're booed up, rolling with your besties, or celebrating you, this is a pre-Valentine's event you don't want to miss.
You're the one, you're the one, you're the one for me.
Tickets available now at guamtime.net. So get ready, because this February, Guam is about to subscribe to love.
How is your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3.
Hoping to get a deal. I'm Ted Lindner, Fox News. As another partial shutdown is underway, the Senate passed a spending package in a 71-29 vote to fund the government ahead of the shutdown after Democrats promised not to vote for a bill that would deliver funding to the Homeland Security Department. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson weighing in Sunday.
I wish the Democrats would be as upset about the deaths of Laken Riley and Rachel Morin and the many others who've been victimized by crimes committed by illegal immigrants.
Now, the House still needs to vote on the bill. Speaker Mike Johnson is confident it'll pass. The package only funds Department of Homeland Security for 2 weeks. Fox's Brooke Taylor says overall was a quieter day for ICE protests Sunday as President Trump announced he's changing how the federal government will respond to unrest in some cities.
He wrote this on Truth Social. I've instructed Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem that under no circumstances are we going to participate in various poorly run Democrat cities with regard to their protests and or riots unless and until they ask us for help.
And in Texas, an ICE facility says no one's getting in or out due to measles. It's the same facility that just released 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father. Fox's Jill Nato with more.
The Dilley Immigration Processing Center, about 70 miles south of San Antonio, has a problem. Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin says the Texas Department of State Health Services confirmed active measles infections of 2 detainees. She says individuals suspected of making contact with the infected have been quarantined, and they're ceasing all movement within the facility. Dilley's the same place that was holding preschooler Liam Conejo Ramos and his father. The two were just returned to their home in Minnesota, but migrant advocacy groups are saying many other children and families are still at Dilley.
America's listening to Fox News.
From around the world,
Trey Yingst, joining us from Tel Aviv, Israel.
to Washington,
I'm Mike Emanuel.
to your own backyard. If a story impacts you or your wallet, we're on it. It's the Fox News Rundown. We give every story the deeper look it deserves with must-listen interviews and smart analysis from the voices you can trust. Start your day with the Fox News Rundown. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey, this is Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. Every Tuesday, you'll hear what's on my mind. Plus, every Thursday, there's a special bonus episode where we answer the questions that are on your mind. Make sure to spend your Tuesdays and Thursdays with Trey. Subscribe now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts. Hope to see you.
America's listening to Fox News.
Well, President Trump's now ruling out military strikes on Iran amid a heavy crackdown on anti-government protesters there. Fox's Dana Marie McNichol reports the president says he's still open to a deal.
We could make a negotiated deal that would be satisfactory with no nuclear weapons. It said they should do that, but I don't know that they will, but they are talking to us.
Trump has made it clear that military planning is happening, confirming that the ships are heading in that direction. The U.S. ambassador to NATO, Matt Whitaker, spoke on military presence in the Middle East.
The Iranians could de-escalate very easily and simply, and we'll see the ball's in their court. But, you know, President Trump is not going to be forever patient on this.
Details about military action are being closely guarded. President Trump says the United States will not share military plans with Gulf allies.
The winners for music's biggest night are now all in.
Kendrick Lamar made Grammy history at the 68th Annual Grammy Awards, winning Best Rap Album for GNX and breaking Jay-Z's record for most Grammy wins by a rapper. He also took home Record of the Year with SZA for Luther. But the night's biggest winner was Bad Bunny, taking Album of the Year and Best Musica Urbana Album for DTMF.
I'm going to say Eyes Out.
Clip courtesy of CBS and Recording Academy. Bad Bunny wasn't the only artist to speak out against ICE. British artist Olivia Dean, who won Best New Artist, and Billie Eilish, honored for Song of the Year for Wildflowers, also addressed the issue. Jelly Roll won his first ever Grammy for Best Contemporary Country Album for Beautifully Broken, and Lady Gaga took home Best Pop Vocal Album for Mayhem. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
President Trump reacting to the Grammys in a Truth Social post early this morning. The president called the award show the worst, virtually unwatchable. Criticized Grammys host Trevor Noah for suggesting he and former President Bill Clinton spent time on Jeffrey Epstein's private island. The president threatening to sue Noah over the comments. I'm Ted Lindner. This is Fox News.
Bud Light is inviting you to watch Super Bowl 60 at the best places on island, serving an ice-cold bucket of the Bud family. Boonies in Tumon, The Venue in Hagåtña, KO's and Good Time in Timoning, Lada's Lounge in Anigua, Jenny's Karaoke in Dededo, and Jenny's Place in Jigo. Follow Current Guam on Instagram for all Super Bowl updates and Bud Light watch parties around the island. Bud Light reminds you that responsibility matters.
This February, skip the roses and give them a night they'll never forget. It's Subscribe to Love, happening February 13th, 2026 at the stunning Leo Palace Resort.
She's my sunshine in the rain.
Starring two of the smoothest voices on the internet, Jeremy Passion and Gabe Bunda.
Your fingers cross mine.
Together for one unforgettable night of music, vibes, and island romance. Couples, singles, and a whole squad. This is your Valentine's celebration. Tickets available now at guamtime.net. Make this Valentine's weekend unforgettable. Get set to subscribe to love.
Boss 104, The Point, Star 101, and Lotte Hotel Guam present the 2026 Island Wedding Expo. Mark the date, Sunday, June 14th. Join us as we showcase an abundance of elegant choices for your special day. Table spaces are now available, but hurry, they're filling up. If you're a business that caters to all things weddings, from coordinators, florists, cakes, photographers, and more, call 888-7346 and connect with Doris, Shanzi, Daryl, or Michelle. For more information about the 2026 Island Wedding Expo, call 888-RDIO.
Recharge your team. Live to Lead. Guam's top leadership event is back Thursday, February 26. Learn from Global Leadership Authority John Maxwell, author, speaker, and church founder Craig Rochelle, international coaching leader Valerie Burton, the Savannah Bananas CEO Jesse Cole, and you'll gain valuable insights from local speakers Jessica Barrett, CEO of Barrett Plumbing, Frank Camacho, who went from professional athlete to creating high-quality cutlery for Crank Industries, and Dr. Bo Wheeler, CEO of Guam Regional Medical City. Get all the details at livetoleadguam.com. That's live, the number 2, leadguam.com. livetoleadguam.com. Thanks to our partners, the Guam Chamber of Commerce, Guam Contractors Association, the Guam Daily Post, and 93.3 FM, The Point. February 26th at the Dusatani Resort. Get details now at livetoleadguam.com. That's livetoleadguam.com.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
It's 1800 hours and 8 minutes. Time for Veterans with Benefits with your hosts Corina Ballista and Raymond Shinohara.
Half a day, veterans, welcome back. As always, want to thank our sponsors, Ambrose Inc., American Legion Post 1. Don't forget, every second Saturday, Steak Day. Yummy. Hebzibah Family Medical Clinic, 11Z's, right behind the radio station. I think today I had raspberry. So yummy. They offer 11% discount for veterans and military. Domino's. Nobody knows like Domino's. Thank you to Dane for offering a free pizza to our Veteran of the Week. JTC Services, veteran-owned business, the most services with Rob Jackson. Master Blasters for all your blasting needs, and the veteran nonprofit organization that I'm a part of, HMI. And then a new one is veteran-owned Guam Drunk Callers. Very professional. If you need anything moved or thrown away, they do it. We just had our... Oh, no. We'll do the Veteran of the Week first. I'm going all out of order here because my earphones are not working. Let me see. Okay, there. Veteran of the Week, favorite part of the show. Veteran of the Week is Specialist Larry Halliday. He distinguished himself through exceptionally meritorious service while serving as a unit-level communications maintainer with C Battery, 3rd Battalion, 44th Air Defense Artillery, United States Army, Europe, from April 1987 to 1991. Throughout his 3 years and 11 months of active duty service, he demonstrated outstanding technical expertise, professionalism, and dedication to mission success. As the primary maintainer for unit-level communication systems, Halliday ensured the operational readiness of critical command, control, and communications equipment essential to the battalion's air defense mission. His meticulous troubleshooting, rapid fault isolation, and skilled repairs directly contributed to maintaining uninterrupted communications capability across multiple operational environments. His efforts were instrumental during more than 2 years of overseas service, where he consistently upheld the highest standards of reliability and technical proficiency. His exceptional performance, loyalty, and devotion to duty reflect great credit upon himself, C Battery 344 ADA, the United States Army Europe, and the United States Army. Let us thank him for his service. Congratulations, Larry Halliday, Veteran of the Week.
Cool dude.
Yes. Veteran Tip of the Week. Don't wait to ask for what you've earned. Many veterans delay seeking benefits, health care, and support because they feel they don't want to bother anyone or believe others have it worse. The truth is simple. You earn these benefits through your service, and using them strengthens our entire veteran community. So this week's reminder is, if something is affecting you, your health, your daily life, your peace of mind, bring it forward. Whether it's a service-connected condition, a question about your records, or help navigating the VA system. Reaching out early prevents small issues from becoming big ones. You don't have to navigate it alone. Connect with your local veteran organizations, join a workshop, or attend one of HMI's benefit boot camps. Every step you take helps you and helps the next veteran who follows your example. Asking for support is not weakness, it's leadership.
Absolutely. And there's tons of resources out there. And one of the biggest things is, like, if you don't feel like there's a resource out there, talk to another veteran. They may have, information that you may not know. Mm-hmm. And there's tons of, things that are out there that could help increase the quality of life for veterans and their families.
Yes,
absolutely.
Definitely. You're listening to Veterans with Benefits on 93.3. You can call into 671-888-TALK. And because we have an amazing guest, we're just going to get right into it. We have veteran and Senator Vince Borja with us.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for representing the veteran community and doing the things that you do to get us access to additional benefits, resources, and just keeping us in mind. And a lot of people may not thank you, but thank you from the bottom of our hearts to represent us.
Of course.
It feels good to have a veteran, right,
Yeah.
in the legislature that's fighting for us.
And there's a couple of them, right?
There's a couple.
Yes.
Yeah. So not just
Ada, there's Vice Speaker Ada, Joseph Augustine.
And then thank you to the chair of the Veteran Committee, Sabrina Salas-Manzanani.
She's not a veteran, but her dad was a veteran.
Yes.
Super cool.
Yes.
I understand the
let me tell
struggles
you,
that we go through.
I text her immediately if anything's happening. I'm like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So did you want to start with his visit to the CBOC or about the new bill that just recently passed in the legislature? We could talk about
the
a
CBOC.
lot. Okay,
Yeah.
CBOC. So I think I gave that to you, Jose. The notes from the meeting that he had with Dr. McDermott. And honestly, when you sent this to me, this was I said, this is a breath of fresh air, because a lot of these questions, right? A lot of these issues are issues that veterans are dealing with, and no one's listening.
Yeah.
No one's, I mean, people are, but there's no transparency.
Yeah.
And I feel like the meeting that you had and you shared it with us, and we shared it to all the veterans, a lot of them said, thank you. Finally, I'm hearing something. Because even though we're veterans and we go to the CBOC, we know there's issues, right? But no one talks about what the issues are, because not that they're random, but there is a pattern, right? And by giving us his summary, we could see what the pattern is.
Yeah.
Is your earphones also not working? You could just take it off.
It's like doing weird things.
You could
It's
just take it off.
It was loud and then like not loud.
Oh,
but it's
okay. Is it better now? So the VA facility expansion, the annex, we were talking about that for years, right? It's been a long time coming. Did they say what the reason was, why they haven't opened yet?
So of course, like always, I think a lot of it had to do with the procurement process to just get a lot of the work done. It wasn't a matter of like just paying for the lease and then everything worked out. And then, of course, the government shutdown, the change in the administration, so that kind of put it on a hold. And then it was really the government shutdown that put a lot of things on hold.
Well, and veterans are wondering because, no one likes the parking at the CBOC. You have to like park down the hill, hope someone leaves, go around a few times to try to find parking.
I think the cool thing about the annex that they're putting together, at least just from like in detail from Dr. McDermott, is that the veterans will be broken in. I mean, they're already broken into their packs, but then they're going to move their packs to like I know he said like one is going to be at Naval Hospital, then the CBOC, and then the annex. So that not everybody's trying to go. Right now, everybody goes to the CBOC.
Right.
I know that he said that they started already kind of like
Moving?
solidifying the team for Naval Hospital. So there'll be a group, a pack that is going to go to. So I think it'll help in regards to at least just spreading it out and getting people to. I think it would make sense. The one question I asked them was, would it make sense to like put people by villages, right? Because like veterans who come all the way from Dededo or Jigo, they would prefer but having them come all the way to just wouldn't make any sense. But of course, like the veteran, like always they'll do their best to try to accommodate them. So.
Right. So when you say PAC, he's talking about patient aligned care team. So whenever we say PAC team, whenever you ask the veteran, what PAC are you? What's that?
Yeah.
So a lot of them don't read. There's a trifold, right, that we get when we finish our appointment. It tells you who your team is, who your social worker is, who your nurse is. So veterans really just need to, empower themselves and read and kind of do the homework themselves. But thank you for that update. So now the target definitely is June 2026.
As early as May is what he said. So
Okay, so May to June.
I just
So
said June. I think June is because the veterans, right? You tell them May, they're going to be, they will be there.
Yes.
May 1st, waiting for the ribbon cutting.
and you won't have to fight over the parking spots.
No, yeah, absolutely
because parking
not.
is not an issue.
Something to
there.
look forward to. For
Yes,
sure.
definitely.
I think one of the key things that I thought was like refreshing when we talked about just kind of expansion of services is the fact that, although I think some veterans wouldn't be a fan of that, is that unless you're going for like some crazy surgery, that you should be able to get all your services on Guam. I know, like, I think in there, like, urology was like one of the things like people used to go for urology. What was the other one?
A hearing.
Hearing,
Hearing,
yeah.
yeah.
So all of that, everything, unless it's like invasive surgery, you should be able to get everything here in Guam. So that's going to be pretty cool. And I think a lot of it too has to do with their partnership with the Naval Hospital, which I said because I have TRICARE as well, and I go to the Naval Hospital. That's not. I told him like that's not reassuring actually if you say that because even they have struggles as well, right? Getting specialty care. So,
Right.
I told him you shouldn't say it like it's supposed to be a good thing that Naval Hospital is it's good for I think labs and then pharmacy, but in regards to like specialty care, that's not.
Well, some people still have to go to Tripler.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So the next thing, I think you talked about this. So what you're saying is so they're expanding and improving the services. I know the CBOC is every few months bringing over a podiatrist. And what's the other one? Who's the one that issues braces? Like the back brace.
I don't know.
And then they most recently are doing pulmonary function tests at the CBOC. That's
Yeah, so
new.
pulmonology, cardiology, and neurology. Those all should be able to be done on Guam as well.
So this next one is my favorite one, PACT Act and in veteran enrollment. So he said that the veteran enrollment increased by approximately 1,000 in the past year. Thank you to HMI.
No, yeah,
Selfish
absolutely.
plug.
I think was this year? No, last year was the year of the veteran count, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, not saying that that's the reason, but there was a heavy focus last year in regards to getting people enrolled.
And we were pushing the veterans that are retired that use TRICARE, right? Because we always say if, as a retiree using TRICARE, if you had to do specialty, like what you said, and you had to leave Tripler, go to Tripler, they would not pay for your flight or your lodging or your meals. But if you're a 30% service-connected veteran and a retiree, they'll pay for those things. So, we're pushing them, go get enrolled. Even if you love the Naval Hospital, go and use your VA services because we need to increase our numbers, right? We need to. Approximately 6,000 veterans currently enrolled. That's great. Outreach and registration events held twice a year, March to May, October to November. So veterans don't like this because it's at a hotel and it's at the mall and they're really just given forms. They need like hands-on.
Yeah.
And a lot of older veterans don't have computers.
And they're not tech savvy.
Right. And then VA staff can attend village or community events upon request. So we've done that. So we've invited CBOC staff and the staff in season to attend a lot of our outreach events. We're actually having, we didn't even talk about that. I guess we'll talk about that when we come back from the break.
But to touch on that one thing, so like for those listening, is the one thing that he kept asking is we do the nonprofits and the government agencies, but even like businesses, for those that are listening, is if you have veterans in your workplace, like, invite the nonprofits like HMI or call the CBOC and he'll send people out there because they want to get people enrolled. So, he was like, if it's one thing the government can help with is try to encourage more outreach, not just in the villages. Like we always just think, put it at the mayor's office and people will come. But no, like start really partnering with the business community. And so even the business community can call like you guys or the CBOC directly and they'll come out just to get veterans registered.
Well, HMI, and I've always tell everyone, we do villages, we do businesses, and we do squadrons. So we just did this past Saturday. HMI was part of the Air National Guard Yellow Ribbon transition program. So we were stationed at Nico Hotel. We had it's like a resource fair, and then we were able to brief for about 20 minutes about what HMI does. Because a lot of Guard and Reserve don't know, you can file your claim right before your orders are done. 180 to 90 days, you can file your orders or file your claim, and then right when your orders end, the very next day, if you've done all your CMP exams, you get your benefits, money and benefits. So that's something that we did. So phone call? We got a phone call. I'll try not to hang up on them, okay?
We can't hear.
We can't hear.
Oh, you guys got to put your
My
earphones
thing's
on.
dead now.
Okay.
Oh, I hear.
Hello, are you there? Are you there? Did I hit the right button, Jose? It's still blinking. I think it's still blinking. Try again. Are you there?
One more time.
One more time. Okay, Jose's coming to check. I think Karina broke it.
Let's go fix something.
I don't know what I did.
What'd you do, Karina?
What did I do? Did I hang it up?
Yeah, it's like squeaking, right?
Okay, there's the call. There's the caller. Are you there, caller? Sorry, I think I was hanging up on you.
Please don't hang up on me.
Sorry, I was hitting the wrong button.
Good evening. I just wanted to put out on the air how Karina helped me the other day, and I was totally impressed with the information she did. My name's Mike 80, by the way.
Hi.
And you're talking about CBOC.
Yes.
My company I used to own, M80 Systems, when they built that building, the Reliable Builders, we put all the furniture in it, and they outgrew it the minute we put it in there. So that's how crowded that poor place is, and I feel for them. But I'm glad you're making steps to get a better place for the veterans to do it. But I just wanted to call in and say, kudos to all you folks that are doing this for the vets, because like a lot of people, I'm kind of lost in it. I've been doing it for years and in and out, and it's a big dilemma for vets that are not really tech savvy and don't understand the system. But you guys explain it. You make it clear, very clear, and you let us understand where we're going and what we're going to do. So just want to call in and say big thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll see you up at the seminar up in Anderson.
Yes, our HMI second annual Veteran Summit. Yes, we will see you.
Okay. Just wanted to call in and say, good job, you guys. If you ever need a guy that talks a lot, call me and I'll come in and sit on the show.
Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you. Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a
Okay.
good evening.
Yeah.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Good dude. I met that guy a couple times.
So I didn't know, M80. It's M80, but his last name is ADY, so M80. Yeah.
He also has really cool challenge coins too.
I haven't seen them.
Yeah, I got one of them.
Oh, okay.
Super cool.
So, what were we talking about? We were talking about
Outreach. We were at
outreach. Yes. So HMI's, went to. We've gone to a bunch of businesses. We've went to Ambrose, Northrop Grumman. We've been to United. So we just coordinate with the managers and say, hey, grab your veterans and let's do this.
Yeah.
And we've gone there multiple times because there's shift work, right? And then we've also gone to some squadrons. We've done the Det 1 down at Navy. We've briefed in the big theater. We've briefed a squadron, the Air National Guard. We briefed the Air Force Reserve. And then we're trying to get to the Army Guard because they deploy, right? The THAAD mission, they deploy every year. There's a new rotation every year.
Yeah.
But
Good
yes.
word of mouth for sure.
Yes. But
if you know a veteran, talk to a veteran about, how to get access to your benefits.
And outreach needs to happen like all the time. You're right, like veteran to veteran. It needs to happen. And then technology. Some veterans have challenges using My Healthy Vet and ID.me. Let me tell you, creating an account is not easy. Do not do login.gov, veterans, because you're going to have to go to the post office and then they're just going to stare at you. And then sometimes it doesn't take our Guam phone numbers.
So what's the easy way? Because I've been locked out since
ID.me.
that whole
green
September.
button.
Yeah, the green one. So va.gov, and there's only 2 logins now.
Oh yeah, I read that about you. You still
and
have
login.gov.
having issues with. Well, I'll help you with it.
Yeah, okay.
So if you have problems, show up Wednesdays or Saturdays.
Yes.
And that's my job. I hook up people with accessing. Well, I don't do it for them, but I help guide them through the process.
And it's easier if you use an iPad.
Yeah.
Because if you don't use an iPad, then you're gonna have to take a photo of your IDs. You're gonna have to email it, then download. It's a whole process.
Whatever system you're using, it needs to have a camera. It's not that great for iPhones.
Right.
Other phones, but biggest thing for that. DD214, it needs to be clear, have all 4 corners in the picture, and then have 2 good forms of ID. So VA card, driver's license.
What is this 24-hour VA hotline? What is that one?
So he was just saying they're expanding, which I think already exists, but there's supposed to be a 24-hour VA hotline for anybody to call in. I know that one of the big issues was because of the time zone, but now they should be able to call a hotline. He didn't give me what that was, but I know that was one of the things that they were expanding on.
Okay, so I think that's the VA White House hotline. It used to be called the VA White House hotline, but now it's just called the VA 24-hour hotline. So that one you actually get a case number, and then they cut the red tape and they go directly to where the issue lies. And it really works. A lot of veterans have called it. And then VA expanding fax and orientation support. They're doing orientation. So I spoke to the CBOX staff that was there on this weekend, and they said that they hold classes. So every time a veteran gets enrolled in VA healthcare, they ask them, do you want to join this orientation? They have it at the First Hawaiian Bank, 3rd floor.
Yeah.
In I guess there's a conference room.
And what do you think a lot of those veterans are saying when they get asked that? Probably no.
No.
So if you're listening to this, go. Information is power. It'll help you access all of your benefits and control your situation, especially if you're using VA healthcare systems.
And then digital access remains challenging for some elderly veterans. I think that's the common message we're saying, right? That not a lot of them know how to use phones, iPads, computers. And so some veterans, I tell them, hey, just download the VA app and then go home and then ask your grandkids to help you or your kids to help you with the app, because the VA app is quick access.
Yeah.
Message your team, order medicine, check on your claim.
Yeah.
It's all there in the app. And then, the most recent thing is get reimbursed for the mileage. So when you go to when you go to your CBOC appointment, within the next day, you can already get reimbursement for the mileage. It's really easy.
And then also with that, you know, some veterans may say, like, I don't have access to a computer or I don't have a smartphone. Like, they're still using burner phones and stuff like that, maybe the flip-top Nokia. But, you know, in all reality, talk to one of your caseworkers because they have those technologies for those veterans that don't have access.
Mm-hmm.
So all you have to do is ask for it, and they'll probably give you a brand new iPad. They won't replace it. It's not for games. It's for your healthcare and access to it.
This next one's a big one. Mental health services. Mental health staffing remains limited. Oh, we're going to go on a break. Wow, that was fast.
Yeah.
Okay, you're listening to Veterans with Benefits on 93.3. We'll be right back.
Catch you on the other side.
Bud Light is inviting you to watch the Super Bowl at the Sandcastle. Join Shanice Poe from Hit Radio 100 for kickoff at 9:30 a.m. Monday, February 9th at the Sandcastle in Tumon, and watch the game in style. It's a Super Bowl party full of raffle prizes, Bud Family Bucket Specials, and the biggest football game of the year. Let's go! It's the New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks. Follow Current Guam on Instagram for all Super Bowl updates and Bud Light watch parties around the island. Bud Light reminds you that responsibility matters.
Guam, are you ready? For one night only, Julian Marley and the Uprising, featuring the sounds of DJ Bonix, are coming to Guam at the Lime Event venue this February 14th. And the best part? Everyone is VIP. Experience roots, reggae, and pure Marley vibes live on Valentine's Day. But listen, tickets are extremely limited, and once they're gone for good. Don't wait. Get yours now at guamtime.net. That's guamtime.net. Brought to you by New Wave Studios Guam, Empire Realty, Star 101, Boss 104, and The Point. One night, one price, one legend.
Back. Let's say hello to those watching us online. We have Army Lynn. Half a day, everyone. Hello, Army. Another
Hello.
veteran. Woo. Brendan Fausto. Good evening, brother Jose Martinez. He gave us a U.S. flag, Guam flag, and a salute. Shauna Stickles. Are you a veteran, Shauna? Dr. McDermott's a great doctor. And Uncle Johnny, Atulai Taitsano, watching. Hello. And then we have John Mendiola, Half a Day, Miss Karina, Bill Salisbury, Biba HMI, Frank and Chris Tidegui, Half a Day veterans, Buenas, Brenna, and Jose, Brendan Fausto, Jigo Jarhead. I'm putting you right in vote. Who are you writing in for? Oh gosh, no, thank you, Brendan, but no, I have no aspirations to run for office. Thank you. So. We were talking about mental health, right? I think we're gonna finish with mental health services. So it remains limited. Most services currently provided virtually. Recruitment for additional therapists and case managers is ongoing. How many do we have up there? Do you know?
He didn't say, but I think at the time there was like 3. I don't. There should be more.
And then we also have the vet center, which has a couple of them over there.
Right.
I think the problem is never really, not that I think now they need more because of course the increase in enrollment, but it's the turnover. Right. Because even for me, like my experience there over the last 10 years was like always having to reset when a new therapist comes in.
Absolutely.
Right. Because you have to, for them, and we understand like they have to like build, get to know you first. And like most veterans don't want to go through that.
They don't. They hate it. Yeah.
There have been times like in my younger days when I would just be like impatient and be like, can you just read the notes? Why do we need to go through like
the whole assessments and everything.
Yeah, the assessment of like, tell me about yourself. And like when they try to figure out, like they go through your case plan, right? So, because that could be discouraging when you're having like, because sometimes like you go through that, you spend a year with them and then they're gone, and then you have to just
and then you have to relive it all over again, and that's not good for veterans,
No.
right? They get
No
triggered
continuity and care either. Yeah.
and they just won't come back.
Yeah.
They don't come back. So mental health's always been a big one. And then how the community can help: share VA registration information with veterans, host or support village level outreach events, yay HMI, use social media and WhatsApp. Go HMI. We have over 60 some groups that we share information to. Collect and share veteran concerns with VA staff. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So they like that, as much as like sometimes we can get very aggressive with our demands or what we when just even asking for things. But they like, Dr. McDermott, he said if it's one thing that we love about Guam, or he says, is that like veterans are very vocal and they need that. Because that's how, they know what the real needs are, especially when they get caught up in the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Could also be our culture, right? Well, I think we've touched on enough on that. I did want to share before we get into the bill that we're going to talk about is we have HMI has our second annual Veteran Summit coming up. It's next week. Right, next week at Anderson, February 10, 11, 12. If you haven't registered, send me a message, 671-682-7631, or go to our website, hmiguam.com, and then just register.
Yeah.
If you, no matter where you are on your journey, or even if you're 100% veteran, come there because we have a bunch of resources for you. And we want you to get the health care, we want you to get the benefits, and we want you to know what's out there.
Yeah.
Please don't just stay in your home and just wonder.
Yeah.
Just come and learn. That's what it's for.
One of the biggest things for that particular event is the access to the base, right? So you have to have that VA ID card that says service connected. You have to be registered with the Anderson. So some people may not have the opportunity, but if we plan ahead for it, find a veteran who also needs to go that has that base access, get that 72-hour pass from the front gate so they could go and attend that boot camp. So if you don't have access, a little legwork is going to be required in order to have that access. But the information at those boot camps, definitely amazing and worth sitting down and absorbing to help you with your benefits and everything.
Right. And we also go over what healthcare, is available for you. And then CBOC hopefully will be there. They're not going to present, but they'll have a table where you can register for healthcare.
Yeah.
Or ask any questions.
Absolutely.
You could take it away now.
Yeah. So recently, we had some, really amazing things happen in the legislature, led and supported by, our Senator Vince Borja. Really amazing things that happen and kind of highlighting, what the veteran community has to deal with. So what we're talking about is, 20238, right?
Yeah.
The Guam Veterans Higher Education Act, which is amazing. Kind of, replicates what Texas has with the Hazel Act, right? Giving veterans the opportunity to seek additional education benefits to, meet their goals, whether they want to go to school a little bit more. And there's definitely limitations that we have as veterans with the GI Bill, which everybody is familiar with, but there's actually more education benefits that we have. But you pretty much championed for Gov Guam to acknowledge that veterans may need some additional assistance to acquire an education, a degree, especially understanding that sometimes when we do have those benefits, it may not directly go to that veteran himself. He may opt to give it to his kids and everything. And your bill kind of addresses that limitation to execute to get that that additional degree. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, with the intent of Bill 202 was, we all know that with the post 9/11, right, it's not necessarily a limit based on credits. It is annually, but there is a time limit, right? You have 36 months.
Yep.
And so what I was attempting to do was, we all know that most veterans are going to come out and they're not going to take 6 classes.
Yeah.
Right?
No, because that's full time.
Yeah, that's full time. And not because they don't have the capacity. There are some, but the intent was that sometimes it takes a lot. Actually, it takes a lot of veterans, like more than 4 years to get a 4-year degree, right? We're talking 5, 6, 7 years sometimes. And some just take a big break and then come back. But what this does is, allows the veterans to use their GI Bill with all the benefits that come with that. And then when they run out, which most will, that the government of Guam will step in It won't have all the pretty, bells and whistles
Yeah.
like the post 9/11, which has like the
BAH,
stipend,
housing.
the housing
Mhm.
allowance.
Yeah.
But it's still something that I think that has been long overdue. Because when I came home and I got out of the military and I used the post 9/11, because I actually joined the military out of Texas, so I technically I'm entitled to that. But I wanted to come home and I wanted to attend the University of Guam. But I also was fortunate enough to exhaust all my post 9/11. But I had other Army friends or military friends who exhausted all their post 9/11 and just quit school because they didn't want to pay for college.
Yeah.
Right. And so there are other things, like you said, book rehab. But the intent of this bill was to supplement that, supplement the post 9/11 GI Bill. And the good thing about this was, which like a lot of the other veteran education benefits stateside, which, I got slammed for saying that, we don't need to mirror what all the other states are doing, is that if they're still left over, they can, their dependents can use it, wife, children. Obviously, it's going to be based on space availability at the University of Guam. But that was really the intent. But it just turned into like this 2-day battle. I honestly thought, because if you watch a lot of these other senators, you say veteran and they were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's support our veterans. But there was, for some reason, and maybe, I don't know, because, maybe, and for me, honestly, I thought, well, maybe now they just don't think this is a big deal because a lot of Manumco, right? Because they was like, oh, the Manumco is the large voting bloc. For me, I was like, they're probably just not really, they know that it's not going to have, to them, there's not a huge impact if we vote against it, right? Because this is, most of the young generation they don't really vote. That's the way I took it, because I'm like, I'm not saying like, let them like use this. I'm saying, hey, you have to use all your federal, but not just post 9/11. Like if you qualify for not just that, but if you qualify for Pell Grant, you have to use that. It's all federal benefits. You have to exhaust that before the government of Guam comes in and supplements that. And so I was like, it's a no-brainer. Like, and even like, love the university, love the leadership, but even for them to come out and say like it's going to cost $1 million, that was an overly inflated number.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because there's just no
that
way
would use that benefit.
Yeah, that would use that benefit specifically, especially annually.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at their centric report, I think right now the veterans contribute to, I think it's like $2 million or whatever. In VA benefits, or that doesn't even include the stipend or whatever. But the bottom line, though, is that when you look at, we've all went to the University of Guam.
I'm an alumni.
A lot of free seats, right?
Yes.
And I said there was going to be I assumed that they wouldn't come out and say that this is going to be a huge fiscal impact, but they did. But I don't believe that.
That would be awesome if they use it like space available.
Yeah, space
right?
available.
Maybe if you renamed or redefined veteran as a tourist.
Then they would be all for it.
And then people would
That's
come
just my
to Guam,
two. Yeah.
and then Guam would
not
get more
even
money
that.
for
They just want to
residents.
fund it because you renamed it tourist.
Yeah.
It feels that way.
Yeah.
Well, what was one of the first amendments that came out where they were trying to make it where you had to live on Guam and declare Guam, like be a resident, which I think was unfair to those who joined the military out of Guam.
Yeah.
Keep Guam as their home of record, pay Guam taxes, and then not be eligible for it because Guam is not where they're currently living.
Absolutely.
So we didn't, that amendment failed, and then there was another amendment to require the veteran to go get not just a test that they've used up all their benefits, but go and get verification that they've exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm like, we all know how hard it is to get anything from the VA, but they were going to require, there was an amendment by Senator Sabina Perez to require the veteran to go and make sure that they get a validation that they've exhausted all their benefits.
Yeah.
Versus I was saying the university can do that.
Yes, they have a whole counselor for that.
Or they were like, it just says they have to attest that they've used it.
Yeah,
So-
and they have access to that particular information.
Yes.
There is no way on my VA.gov account am I getting that kind of information, but they can access that. So they would be the hub of
because
information.
that's the whole part of going to school is your counselor helps you verify your eligibility.
Yeah.
Right. That's
There was an attempt. It was in the drive, but they took it out. I'm going to speak about it. I don't care. They're probably mad. Is that there was an attempt to remove the dependents.
Yeah.
So they didn't want that benefit to be transferred. The other thing, too, we forgot to talk about at the beginning when they were just talking, the requirement that you had to pay back So it was like, if you're going to use this benefit, you have to pay back the government of Guam
in service.
in service. And like even like myself, Speaker Blas, we were just like.
Oh, by the way, you can see all of this online.
Yeah.
I spent like 6
So
hours
our
listening to you
service
guys.
to the military wasn't good.
It wasn't enough.
Oh
It
yeah,
wasn't
they
enough.
wanted.
It
They were
wasn't
like,
enough.
Oh,
no,
no.
they need to pay this back, and it's like that was defeats all purpose of the bill. The bill was like, hey,
We already served.
Yeah.
And
You know-
less,
Wait,
like-
this is public record, right?
This is.
So we can't name the person who said that?
You could. I don't want to. But
You ought to.
either way, you know, if
They
we think,
said it.
Yeah. If we think about it like this, it wasn't too long ago that we were drafted as an island of Guam, and we had to go serve because they didn't have enough people. We haven't had that draft, you know, since Vietnam, really, because as an island, we're so patriotic that we're giving up our sons and daughters to the United States service to represent Guam, to serve, whether you're the butcher, the baker, or the candlestick maker. So anybody that serves, definitely thank you for what you did and representing the island and showing that you can provide. But during that time that we're providing service, dedication, sacrifice, you know, we missed a lot. We missed those family fiestas. We missed the good times, the bad times, the ugly times, the times, you know, when we should have been there as Chamorros or people from Guam being there for our families. So you taking up the helm and wanting to give us that benefit or helping us assist into getting that higher education, thank you for that. For everybody else, the 4 out of the 11 that didn't want, because there is a number to it. Wow.
There was even at one point when they were running out of reasons for like, I don't know if you saw where Senator Tello Taitigui was like, you know, asking me questions and it was like, yeah, I said, you know, I have kids that may possibly be. He's like, see,
that was
there's a
bad.
conflict of interest.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh
it
my
doesn't
God.
even matter. Like, I paid I paid the service. I did my time, and whether it's me or them, like the bottom line is like if you're gonna say, and for me, it's like, hey, if we decide that this is a benefit that we're gonna get to veterans, who cares if it's my children or his children? Everybody, I even said it on the floor, like everybody in this hall is conflicted. Like everybody has a family member that is a veteran. Or close to a veteran, or so to sit there and point that out as like, the sponsor
And
of this bill
and targeting you,
yeah,
really.
yeah.
But
At
most,
the end of the day, he's representing veterans, and I think
most
we should acknowledge that.
But most importantly, guess who sacrifices the most when the veteran is serving? Family.
Yeah.
So a lot of the benefits that we have today are geared towards the family. So I
But
think
this
that
isn't
was-
a competition for a scholarship. So there
You know
is no
what?
conflict
You know what?
of interest.
We can talk about those scholarships later, but like,
Right, but this was an open. The only qualification was veteran, and so it's not like they're competing for something.
No.
So
And-
there is no conflict.
No,
of
and if you
interest.
think about how the law was written, 181 days, right? So technically, anybody who already has the GI Bill that already used it had all that information. So if we really think about it, we did our homework. The answers are already there. It's just approving that we're going to figure out how we're going to get veterans that extra education that they may need to fulfill the requirements to get.
Oh
that
gosh, it's
degree.
already time for break. Oh, we're having so much fun though. You're listening to Veterans with Benefits on 93.3. We'll be right back.
Learn to lead better from the best. John Maxwell leads a list of 7 outstanding speakers at Live to Lead, Guam's annual leadership event coming February 26. What do past attendees have to say about this all-day idea fest? Go to livetoleadguam.com and see testimonial upon testimonial upon testimonial with true feelings from those who have experienced what you can when you and your team recharge and set the thoughts and strategies you'll learn into positive action. Get all the details at livetoleadguam.com. That's leadguam.com. livetoleadguam.com. Thanks to our partners, the Guam Chamber of Commerce, Guam Contractors Association, the Guam Daily Post, and 93.3 FM, The Point. Live to Lead, February 26th at the Dusatani Resort. Get details now at livetoleadguam.com. That's livetoleadguam.com.
Boss 104, The Point, Star 101, and Lotte Hotel Guam present the 2026 Island Wedding Expo. Mark the date, Sunday, June 14th. Join us as we showcase an abundance of elegant choices for your special day. Table spaces are now available, but hurry, they're filling up. If you're a business that caters to all things weddings, from coordinators, florists, cakes, photographers, and more, call 888-7346 and connect with Doris, Shanzi, Daryl, or Michelle. For more information about the 2026 Island Wedding Expo, call 888-RDIO.
And we're back. We're having such a good conversation. The show is going to be over soon. Shauna Stickles says, no, but I bring my veteran dad and accompany my husband into the clinic. This is great info for all of us. You're welcome, Shauna. You know, we always try to get some information, do our research, share it, because no one else is doing this for the veterans. And, you know, things for veterans change every day. There's so many changes that happen. Then we have Kiana Ardiente, Biba, Senator Borja. Woohoo. I asked Senator Borja if you're still at UOG. He said, no, you just graduated. So congratulations, Kiana. So let's get back into it.
And if you have any questions, put it online. We'll do our best to respond to it or message any of us here.
Yes. So you wanted to talk about, so we did want to talk about, and always, you know, make sure we all know the difference between voc rehab. So voc rehab is not an education program. And I feel like I've talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
And most veterans don't know about VRNE. Sorry, VRNE.
Yeah.
VRNE.
So most people consider it voc rehab or vocational rehabilitation, but really it's a rapid employment, right? Some people use it to get a degree, right? Because it'll help them with getting that employment. But it's really meant for you to get straight into it. So if you need the training, if you need the education, if you need the tools in order to accomplish employment, that's what the program is for. And it's an amazing program. It's actually more money you would usually get from the post 9/11 GI Bill. But you have to really sit down, and you should be sitting down with a counselor to plan it out and then utilize it.
When you first contacted me about your bill and your hearing, unfortunately I couldn't make it the first hearing. But what I know, when I thought about it before reading your bill, I was like, well, I fall into this because I didn't know, you know, like what we talked about earlier, the GI Bill, which I have. There's a time limit. And it's not a class limit, credit limit, like you said. So I remember going to UOG, and I remember running into one of my friends, and he was just so stressed out. And I said, what's going on? Oh, man, you know, I'm taking like 6 classes. And I'm like, why? He goes, because that's how the GI Bill works. I go, what do you mean? I go, I'm only taking 2. He goes, you're going to waste it. And I didn't know what that meant until I sat down and I actually did the research. And I'm like, oh, my God, I wasted my GI Bill for 2 years because I was like, I could take 2 here, 1 there, not knowing that it is a time limit.
Yeah.
So this program, your bill will, you know, work great because there are some veterans who are just uneducated. Yes, we're going to UOG, but do we fully know what the GI Bill is?
Yeah.
And so that's great because you're going to have to exhaust it, which we do. We exhaust it faster than we know.
So there is, just to make sure they know, there's a cap. I think it's like 96 hours for a bachelor's and like 36 for a master's. So, but it's at your own pace, right? It's not like the GI Bill. You have 36 months to use it. The good thing about this is it really is, you should be able to get a full bachelor's with that. I think 96 is like the average for a 4-year program, and then 36 for a master's. You can only get 1 though, so you can't do the bachelor's and then do the master's. You can, if you opt for the bachelor's, then you won't be allowed to do the master's.
Well, I think it's great, and I hope it, you know, gets signed into law.
Yeah, sitting on the governor's desk. Exciting. Exciting times.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that you brought it up, and I think once it gets passed, I think this should be talked about more, especially do some outreach at the campus. You know, hey, veterans, you know, it's only UOG, right?
UOG and GCC.
And GCC?
Yeah.
Right now.
Wow, that's amazing because there's still a lot of veterans that, you know, want to learn a trade, right? And what better way than to use that? What about Guam Trades Academy?
So they did try to, there was a proposal to amend it into the law, but we can't because it's not a government agency. There is programs funded like through like GCC and stuff, but they're not, we can't mandate them to give free education unless, especially because, and this is why I think we should talk about this before time runs out, is this notion that it's an unfunded mandate. We talk about like empty seats at the University of Guam. The vision behind this bill was that, and it says in the bill too, based on space availability, right? Like tuition, you know, if it's a class that's full and it's all tuition paid students, they have priority, but I mean, when you were there and I was there even 10 years ago, you've never really been in a full class.
Yeah.
No.
And
Unless
so,
it was a GE.
yeah, unless it was a GE. But even like that, like go take another GE, right?
Art.
Yeah, art. Or you get stuck in that one art 101 class.
Oh,
but
yeah. Colors.
but yeah, so it is, there's no funding tied to it. There in the law does say that the university and the GCC will have to report to the legislature, right? And should there be, but I honestly do not, especially because post 9/11, most people will not opt to like forego their post 9/11 to use this because this just covers tuition.
Right.
It doesn't give you housing allowance. It doesn't give you the book stipend. What else comes with that? I think that's it.
Housing, book stipend, and that's a very generous housing allowance.
Yeah,
it's E5 with dependents. That's what is that $24.50? $24.50.
Yeah.
So, and then you also wrote in the bill you have to exhaust it.
Yeah, you have to use all your federal benefits.
So this,
first.
to me, this should have been a no-brainer for veterans.
No, yeah, absolutely. And so the other thing too is that like, because is it Pell Grant? There is a cap, right? So sometimes that won't run out. Now, if you need to take an extra class, then this should again supplement that. And that's the intent, is that it allows veterans to take their time, and then it also helps when they run out of other benefits, they can use this as well.
Yeah.
So.
And there's tons of benefits that are out there, right?
Yeah, well, there's so many. I think we were halfway done.
And I know some people were complaining about that on the floor, having too many benefits, right? But yeah.
There was even an amendment to say,
oh my God,
we shouldn't just worry about veterans. How about the underserved communities?
Yeah.
Like, we need to open this up.
There are already benefits
and then,
for
like,
that.
I like how Speaker Blas said, if you want to do that, introduce a bill, right? And we will entertain it. But today, we're talking about veterans.
Yeah.
Today, we're honoring veterans for their service.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying that we don't want those. We don't want to open up educational opportunities for anybody else or any other class of within our community. It's just saying today we want to say, hey, Guam recognizes your sacrifice, and we want to give you, we want to pay you back.
I would say that the underserved is a class within the veteran community, and because a lot of people I think like to pigeonhole veterans as these people like that millionaires list came out today of government workers, right, or affiliated with the government, and military doesn't have that kind of class unless of course they're super high ranked officers. You have a lot of enlisted who are still struggling, who still get a job after retirement, after their 30 years or so, and so the underclass or the underserved are a part of that veteran community.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And for veterans that served before 2008, I think it was like August, they weren't afforded the post 9/11 GI Bill. Before, it used to be the Montgomery GI Bill, and I think a lot of veterans forget they probably paid into it, right? So you're paying like $1,300 plus the kicker, which is like $800, and you're getting some pretty good benefits if you do have that particular benefit that you paid into. So if you still have that and people forget about it, that's almost like $2,500 a month of entitlements. You don't get the BAH or anything like that, but like, holy moly.
And let's not forget about the red sale bill.
Yeah.
So that is if you have multiple DD-214s and you were eligible to get post 9/11, you can ask for it back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And this is for the veterans that still have it.
Yeah. And then with the post 9/11 GI Bill, you're getting annually a little bit over $3,400. Like that's for all of your classes and everything like that. On top of getting BH, and here for Guam, it's $2,450. A lot of us are familiar with that. It's really nice money, but at the end of the day, it's a full-time job. You should be pay attention to what you're doing. $1,000 for books, and that's a great benefit to go to school. The only cap is 36 months. Before they said you had to use it within 10 years. Now it's forever. So you could take your time, but if you're doing it right, you shouldn't take your time. Go full in and get your degree.
When the bill gets passed, what's the execution?
It's not going to be April 2026 was when the university asked for it for them to roll it out. So probably like the summer classes, they'll be able to start using it. The other thing too that I wanted to discuss before time runs out is that, because one of the questions, of course, even about funding, was that we were prepared to defend that, because when we talk about the contributions that the veteran community gives to the economy, I would have had no issues, and I don't think any other senator, at least on the Republican side, would have had any issues putting money aside to fund this program. So when the other side tried to say like we were just trying to use this as a a like headline as like, oh, we're giving away free education to veterans. It wasn't, or an unfunded promise, right? Saying that we were just going to throw this out there and it's not really going to happen because there's no money. Is that we were ready. Like if there really was a number that we needed to put to that the legislature was prepared to, but we know that there's extra seats at the University of Guam and they'll be okay.
And I really truly hope that our service was good enough.
Yeah.
Or is enough.
Absolutely.
Was enough.
Yeah.
You deployed 8 times. Like, I don't know how else to say this, but we sacrificed a lot.
Would I have to give 2 more years of service to get
to the government of Guam? I don't know.
Year?
I mean, that might be.
What would you do though for the government of Guam?
I didn't have some I wasn't like a mail clerk or anything.
Well,
anyways,
thank you for coming on with us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And when I reached out to you, and like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't attend any of the hearings, but when I told Ray that, hey, Senator Vince Borja might be coming on to talk about the bill, like he was like, oh yeah, he dug deep. He was like, did all the research, took notes. We met this morning, and he was like, do you know what they said? And I was like, I couldn't watch the hearing. Sorry, I couldn't watch it. But we're wrapping up. Did you guys have anything to add?
We do have a bill coming out for public hearing. It's the Gold Star expansion bill. This was at the request of a couple Gold Star families, so if the community can come out and speak in support of that. It's to allow like other children within the families and expand the benefits. Really just the license plates right now, which is all that we have.
I'll try to be there.
Yeah. Hey, just remember that there's tons of resources out there. I could spend all day talking about them, but if you are interested in any of us, hit us up, put us on the chat, and we'll try to best respond to it. Just remember, there's always help out there. Just ask.
And I want to say, stay ready, stay informed, and as always, thank you for your service. We'll see you next week.
Viva.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3.
The House returns to work. I'm Sue Guzman, Fox News. Partial government shutdown that went into effect early Saturday is now expected to last until at least Tuesday. Members of the House of Representatives will be back on Capitol Hill today, start negotiations ahead of a planned vote Tuesday. The partial shutdown, the result of a dispute over funding for the DHS in the aftermath of anti-ICE protester Alex Preddy's death in Minnesota. Fox's Chad Perkam tells us what Democrats are hoping is included in the measure.
They demand specific policy changes about masks and ID for ICE agents. Before they'll vote yes. The House GOP margin shrinks to 218 to 214 after it swears in Texas Democrat Christian Menifee. He just won a special election Saturday. The tight margin, coupled with Democrat